In this video, we're going to learn about how to automate Salesforce flow testing. Let's do that by creating a simple record trigger flow. And let's try to write multiple automation test cases. And then we'll try to run all the test cases and then see how it helps us with Salesforce testing. Let's begin with the business use case. So we have a business use case from Unicorn Limited account owners. So basically, they wanted the system to automatically update a customer's category or an account category based on the account annual revenue. So we have three options. If the account revenue is greater than 10 million, then we will categorize that account as Class C, kind of larger enterprise customers, and Class B, mid-size customers, if the revenue is 5 to 10 million. Anything less than 5 million, we will just categorize those customers as Class C customer. So the Salesforce admin is all geared up. So it's going to implement that using flow without writing a single line of code. But that's when there was a special note from Chief Sales Officer, because this typically happens in all projects, right? Whenever we automate a business process using flow. It works great, certainly, but as we add more enhancements to the flow, whenever we make a change, it needs to be tested manually, isn't it? Even if it is a small change, to ensure that the changes are not breaking any existing business process. Typically, either the testing team or the business users will have to manually test, right? So this is going to put more importance, right, on the regression testing. Again, the manual effort on regression testing. So the note from the chief sales officer says, can we reduce manual effort on regression testing? Is there a way? So the Salesforce system admin, right? Again, it's going to use the new feature, the test feature in Flow to help reduce the manual effort on regression testing. So let's see how this can be done. And this is how it will look like. So once the flow is created, you will just have an option to create multiple test cases, and you will also have an option to choose the test case that you would like to run and then see if it is working fine or not. You get a chance to see each and every test case, how it worked, which is the path it has taken to complete the flow. All such things we can do it right here. So let's try to try to implement and focus more on writing test cases. To demonstrate this again, what I have done is I've already created a flow for you. So this is a very simple flow, a record trigger flow that runs immediately. And again, this flow will run only when a new customer is created, when a new account is created, right? And also this is an after save flow. So that's why you see action and related records. And here it is. So there are multiple ways again, to update account category. I could have used a formula, a simple formula variable to find the account category based on the annual revenue. But to demonstrate, different paths and how, the automation test cases will work, I decided to use this decision statement. And this decision statement, right? Of course, we got three conditions. So one is to show, okay, if the annual revenue is greater than 10 million, right? If it is greater than 10 million, then there is one branch. And if it is between 5 and 10 million, so that's going to be the branch 2 and the default branch, which is less than 5 million. So we are using the global variable record to access all the fields, especially the annual revenue of the account field, annual revenue field from account object, and that's launching the flow. So a very simple one, but again a special case, right? Only for class A customers, right? We wanted to create a reminder task, right? So I want that reminder task to get updated or assigned to the owner of the account record, or whoever is creating that account record, right? So that the person becomes the task owner as well. So the task that is going to be created, it needs to be related to the account record. So we just added related ID as well, and this is the subject. It's a simply reminder task to the owner of the account, saying that the classic customers need to be added to the upcoming campaigns. So that's it. Pretty much So we got three branches, and we have our core logic done. So now it is time to test it. That's the main focus right here. Right? So let me just do this. And the moment you save, you get an option, for called view test this button. So click here, and you can create as many test cases as you want. Just go ahead and then create a test case. So right now, you can use this view test in record trigger flow. You cannot use this, or you don't find this option in a screen flow. So for record trigger flow, certainly now you will see the view test option. Number two, uh, it's actually three steps when you create a test case, right? It just involves three steps. So number one, let's name the test case. So test case number one, class A, update scenario. And of course, I would like this test case, right, to run only when record is created, right? Because that's the condition as well. That's the requirement as well. So let me choose created as, and fine. This test case, right, requires some test record, right? Some test record. So how do I create a test record and feed as an input for this test case to run? So this is where we do that as step two, set initial triggering record. So as you can see, I can see all the fields from account object, and I can just give data, whichever data that I would like to have the test record. I would like to have test record uh, to have. So I can do that, or I can choose a reference account. For example, let's say I choose Genie point, right? It will pre-populate all the values, taken from the Genie point. Okay, I can then go in and then modify the test record data points as needed. For example, I want to change the account name, right? I want account name to be test case number one. So I want this to be the account name. Then the annual revenue, let it be 30 million. So this is my test record. So when this particular test case runs, yeah, so it takes annual revenue. It just takes annual revenue as 30 million, right? So yes, then what is the next step, which is the final one? Set assertions. So what is the expected output? What is expected output when a revenue, right, is 30 million? What is the expected output? The expected output is we wanted to see that category of the account should be class A, right? And also a task should be created. So let's go to assertions and then configure that. So the first one is I'm going to say when the annual revenue is more than 10 million, right? Then which is there in the test record. Then I want that category, account category, should be updated as class A. So this is my first assertion. So if this is happening, then the test case will say pass. Otherwise, the test case will say fail. In case of failure, I can just give a message saying that class A update did not work. So that's a custom error message I can give, or I can just leave it, blank. Okay, it's optional. And what is the next thing that I wanted to happen, right? The expected output is like I need to ensure that the task is created, that the reminder task is created, isn't it? This is the name of the action, reminder task. So how do I know whether a task is created? So I can do it just by choosing that task, and then in the operator we have something called was visited. So this ensures that when the condition is set, when the condition is true, right? Of course, the category needs to be updated as class A plus whether this particular element has been executed or not. So that is the current thing that we can do now, right? So the operator is was visited, and I'm going to just say true. Let's say done. Yeah. If this is not happening, then you can say that task has not been created. So that's the custom error message. Just click on save. That's it. Again, if I just go back here, right, I can just see my first use case is ready, isn't it? So let's try to run this and then see what happens. Okay. I'll choose this one. I'll just say run. Looks like it has just completed. I can just click here and then look at run test and view details. And as you can see this, right, the path it has taken, right, for the given test record, the path it has taken So you can just see it is highlighted in orange color, right? So it has just updated the class case as classic, and also the reminder task element, right, was visited, right? This element was visited. So that's why you can see both are, in green past status, right? So let's try to create, let's go to edit flow. Let's try to create, one more test case. We'll just say test case number 2. Yeah, we'll just say class B update. Okay, and again, this is going to be tested only when a customer is created. Yeah, account is created, and again I can just pick an existing account record and then modify the data, or I can just start entering data on my own. So I'm going to just choose an existing account, and I can just say I want this to be, let's say, 7 million. Yeah, and I want the test record name to be test case number 2. Yeah, so that's going to be my test data, and again the session, right? What is the expected output? My expected output is the record that is being created wanted to have the category as class B. Yeah, this is the expected output. So let's say save. Done. Again, as you have seen, right, I'll go to test case 2, click on edit sessions. I did not give any custom failure error message, so it is completely optional, right, giving a custom error message. I'll create one more test, and then we can just see how we can together write on all the test. So I'll say create, and I'm going to go it for test case number 3. Again, I can just put all the positive scenarios for testing. Class C update, and yes, initial triggering record has to be, let's say it's a 300,000 less than 5 million, and account name I can just make it test case number 3. Yeah, so assertions. So for the test record condition, I would like to see the account category updated as class C. That's it. So let's again go back to the view test. So we just selected a particular test case and then executed last time, right? So we do have other option. Let's select all 3 and then right click on run, see what happens. So now the entire test, right, entire test cases have been executed, and you can see the result has passed for all the 3 test cases. So that's it. Now your flow is perfectly ready for deploying, right, for doing deployment in production. So this is how you can create multiple test cases, and then keep it ready, so that tomorrow when there is a new enhancement came in, right, you can cross check whether all the test cases are working just fine, right? To demonstrate this again, I'm gonna introduce a bug in the code. Okay, let's say there is a new enhancement came in. Okay, and the team has been working on this particular flow, and for some reason, right, someone has by mistake deleted this, or changed the value from class A to class. Okay, and let's say done. So by mistake someone did that. Okay, someone did that, and now if I activate this flow, right, then I can able to find the problem only when I manually test it, isn't it? So someone has to create an account and then check for the category, then you will just see the problem, correct? Instead, we have created multiple test cases, which will help me drastically reduce that manual effort. How? Let's see that. Let's click on view test. Okay, and let's say before we say that we're done with our new enhancement, right? Let's have the team, or let's have the team to run the test cases. Say run. And now you can see this, right? There is one particular test case that did not work, right? Let's go and then figure out more details. Yeah, as you can see, right? So this is the element that did not work, or this is the step that did not work, which is update the category to class A. And yeah, so just click here. This is what it is, right? So it was trying to update class as a category, which is not, not the expected value, isn't it? So that's it. You can see more details about that here, right? So it's not a valid, pick list value. So that's it. So this is how you can able to find if there is any problem, right, introduced in a flow which is already running in production. So this comes really handy as in when you do minor enhancements, right? You can have the team certainly to run all the tests, and this could be a checkpoint in your flow deployment. Right now it is not made mandatory. So but as a using your own process, you can make this as a mandatory step for the team to run the test cases and just submit the screenshot whether all the test cases have been passed or not, right? So that's a way how we can able to fix it. Just go ahead and then change that back to class A. Let's say that's it. So now, as given in the requirement, right, we managed to create a flow, and then we managed to create multiple test cases, and also we have seen a scenario where how it works, right, when or how it can help you to find a problem if there is a bug in the flow, right? So that's it for now. Thank you.